And welcome back, folks, to another episode of the Pelican Softball Report. We are rolling right through our 2026 softball season previews for high school teams in the state of Louisiana, and excited to make our way up to the Minden area. And it is the Glenbrook Apache and Coach Tyler Cox. Coach, welcome.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me on here for sure.
And look, just finishing up a pretty good year, and that was your first year there, correct?
Yes, it was first year at Glenbrook. Definitely a great season. Had a bunch of great players, and we lost 5 seniors, but I have a lot of young girls that are in there and have been here, and they are ready to go.
Yeah, we'll get in. We'll get into those guys, to those ladies in just a minute. I'm still an old baseball guy. I call everybody guys, so I won't. Most of them don't get mad at me anymore because they know. But what was it? So you come over from a successful, very successful career at Zwali, and look, when you get into those size schools, it is just. I mean, it's pure competition and battle down there. So what was it that made the move from Zwali up to Glenbrook?
It was a tough move. Obviously, I have a lot of connections to the girls there still. Some of them still play travel ball for me. It was a tough move, but I think coming to Glenbrook, having the support at Glenbrook for softball was the big part of it. Was the main part of coming here was just having a lot of support for softball and having everything that we're getting done here.
Look, you talked about things you're getting done. Let's jump into this. I was going to save that for a little bit down the road, but this is an old picture. You guys are well ahead of schedule on this, but take me through some of this and what's going on up there.
Um, a lot's going on. We're getting new dugouts, new locker rooms, new netting system, new everything. The new walls out there. They came in and gave us all new. They cut all the grass out and got all new grass and new dirt. My favorite part of it is the net. We got the net that's going to go all the way to the ground. So when you step down on to the bleachers, it literally feels like sitting on top of the field, like you're out there with us.
Man, that's kind of, you see that in football some, and a couple of basketball courts, that sunken bowl type of an atmosphere, and that's got to make it special. We've seen it just seems like everybody that we talk to, something is unique about their field, and that's what makes it special.
Yeah, it's definitely a special place. Even as a Wally, it was kind of down in a hole like that too. This one's super nice. We rebuilt it and got the bleachers that kind of wrap around the backstop and stuff. Um, it's it's really special. It's a great people. I have a lot of people that come watch the girls play, and they're there to support us no matter what.
Was it a, hey, when we get here on campus, we identified this and we'd like to do this, or was it a, hey, coach, this is what we're planning and we'd love to have you come be a part of it?
It was more of a we're planning to do this. We want to have you here and like build this around you kind of thing. Um, and that's what we've done. Once last year got done, it was like as soon as we got off of it, they were there to go at it.
Well, that's it's getting to take shape, and I can't wait to get up there and see it because I mean you're starting in no time. How's the completion of it? Where are you guys at located
Um,
on the finish of
last,
it?
last night we were putting in the home plate and the pitching rubber, so it's finishing and it's looking good, and we're ready to get on it. We're going to be able to practice on it when we get started.
I keep checking that social media. I need some more pictures of that thing.
I
Is it?
those as soon as we get done here.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's talk about now the area that you're in, and I think I first came to know the area over the summer with the Diamond Youth softball that was in town, and Minden has a lot of young talent that's coming in. There was, I think, two teams that were representing the state of Louisiana as state champions in that World Series.
Um, the area here, and that's kind of one of the main focus points for me when I came here was, you have all these girls from second grade all the way to 12th grade that are here to win, and they're used to winning. So they won all that stuff and the Dixie stuff, and then we also have the elementary sports that we do here at Glenbrook and a bunch of other schools in this area, and we won that in almost every category, baseball and softball. That we won that, and we're excited about those girls, and they're excited to be here to play for us. we can't wait to get those girls up into our program.
I know the fans are ready for it. They were probably some of the loudest that we saw and the most supportive, because you got bad loud, but you got folks that know how to cheer for their sport. And this Minden fan base is solid.
Yeah, it's a special group of people here. They're definitely here to support, especially baseball and softball. They're here all the time. They're always asking, "What do we need to do? What do you need? What kind of sport do you need?" And they're here to do it. And it's almost everyday thing where you're getting a message, and they're like, "We're here to support you. Just let us know what you need."
There you go. You got to love that. Winning certainly adds to that. They'll continue without a doubt there. But looks like you guys have been in the playoffs. I know before you were a couple of years before that, but you added in this year, had a first round win, and then fell to a very tough Sacred Heart team in the second round.
Oh, well, we actually beat Sacred Heart at Sacred Heart, and then went to Opelousas Catholic and got beat by the state champions.
That's right. That's right. And look, that Sacred, it comes out of a division that I think they had 3 or 4 of the top teams throughout most of the season.
Right. We went to Sacred Heart. We knew, which we played them earlier in the year, and we beat them there. And we knew then that they were very tough. And we were kind of, we were watching them in the bracket and all that stuff. And we knew when we went there, we had to mean business. And we go down there and we played, I would say 3 innings, and we're up 2-0, and we get rained out. So we had to go back to our hotel, and we get up the next morning. The girls are ready, so we go practice a little bit, and then we go straight back to their field and we play. And we played our hearts out, and they fought, and we did all the right things to win that game.
How tough is that type of a game where you have to stop, go back to the hotel, and then get up and going the next time?
Well, the game, when it ended and the first day, it was I had one of my girls up, my 3-hole batter up, and it was 3-0 count. And so it was tough for me to say, what are we going to do here in this situation? And I was literally like, I just stayed up all night, on the phone, like, what should my girls do? What do we need to do to prepare for this? Because it's going to be totally different to start a game in the 3rd inning, and you're already up, and then you have a girl up 3-0 count. And literally the best advice I got was tell that girl to take all 3 pitches. Do not let her swing. And so the first pitch goes by, and I have the take sign on. It's strike 1. The second pitch comes by, it's strike 2. And I'm like, dang, maybe I shouldn't have took that advice. Little did I took again, and it was a walk. And we kind of started back there and got our momentum back going. And then my pitcher come out and we figured out how to win.
Look, I just when they write those stories for Netflix or whatever it is, you give her the swing away and she comes in and homers on the first pitch. And but you get on and you go and do those things and manage it. And you've been through your big time career there on the travel ball circuit as well. You've seen a lot of situations like that. I don't know of many that are like that, but it gives not only the kids those reps, but it gives you as a coach those reps too.
Yeah, that was a tough one for me, just being there and being in a hotel, which was good for the girls. We got some bonding time in that night, and we were up, so it was kind of they were up for a little while, and then I had to put them back down because, like, look, this game ain't over. We're only up by 2. If we were up 12-0 right here, I'd be fine. But we got to go to bed. We got to eat something good, and we got to get ready to go to war tomorrow.
Well, that's a great story, and it looks like the girls are building on that. So your roster size, tell me a little bit about that. Being a 1A school, how many girls are you carrying?
I usually carry whoever will come out for me. I started with 20-something this year, which is a great number for a 1A school.
That's a lot for your size school.
We're down to about 16 or 17 now, I believe. Just girls they don't realize how hard it is, and then they do, and that's fine. And so we're down to 16 or 17, which is still a good number for a 1A school. But I have a lot of girls that are, they come out, they can compete all the way through, all 16 of them. They can play, and they have all their different roles.
Well, you love to see that. So you told us you had 5 seniors that you lost. Tell me
I
what
did.
it is about those girls that you're losing.
I'm losing my catcher for sure. Vivian Steele, a big bat. I think she batted over 500 last year, so that's a big one. Rebecca Mosley was my pitcher. Uh, Colby, she was my center fielder. I'm losing my right fielder, and I'm losing a girl that played third base some, and then she was my DP for most of the year. A lot of big swings in those 5 girls. A lot of defensive talent, and a lot of speed. We're gonna miss that. But like I said, all these young girls that were here, they were right there with them, and they could have easily last year come in the field and done exactly the job we needed to do.
You hear something like that, coach, and when you lose the entire middle of your field, your catcher, your pitcher, and your center fielder, folks are thinking, well, maybe next year we're going to take it a little bit lighter, but you don't at all. You've got some heavyweights now. You play out of that 1A division, District 1, I think, that's got Ringgold, it's got Plain Dealing, it's got Haynesville in it, and you get those out of the way early. But you load up with 5A and 4A schools all down the line, your Natchitoches Centrals, Parkways, Houghton Airlines. And that is not someone scheduling that says, we're rebuilding. This is somebody that says, let's go.
Yeah, I usually use the load reloading because, like I said, those girls are ready to go. Like they're, a lot of them played last year in different roles, but they're there every day. They're working hard. They're working on their own. They're in town hitting in the cages, and they're here to win. And they know my expectations are to win and go out and compete every day. Um, Absolutely, we reloaded, and I'm not going to get too much into my reloading, but because I think we're going to have a big year, and I can't wait for it.
Look, that's like a bull in the gate. I mean, you're itching to get out, but you still got to hold back a little bit on there, as every good coach should. How big of an advantage is it for you having the ability for the junior high kids to be a part of your program?
Um, it's big. Last year, I have seventh and eighth graders that I can work with every day. They can come in, and almost all of them play like they're that good. Like they can come in and play in a high school game, and I wouldn't have any doubt to put them out there. So it's big just to be able to put them on the field because of the talent that they bring. Um, Seventh and eighth graders, I think I started two, 2 or 3 last year. I started eighth graders,
Right.
so it's going to be some of the same this year. And some of those eighth graders that are coming up now, that are freshmen now, they're going to have a big role this year, and I think they're ready for that. And they had a huge fall that they played in, and they showed out on the field.
Well, I love it. We a lot of these schools that we talk to, some aren't on the campus, so they don't get their seventh and eighth graders. But what an advantage it is to have somebody in your system 2 years by the time that they are a freshman in there and knowing what's going on.
For
Coach,
sure.
tell us a little bit about your team that's coming back. Some of the upperclassmen, some of those that you're going to expect to lead on the field.
I have one senior this year, Gabby Brown. She's a huge part of us. She's our leader, our captain. She's that player that when I need something done, it's done already. Um, like I like to make everybody match at practice. Everybody does the right thing. She's on that. She sends out what we're wearing every day. She plays shortstop for us, and she's usually 1 through 4 somewhere in there. Um, but she's a huge part of that. She's going to be a great player for this year, and she's going to have a huge year, I believe. Behind that, I have a freshman pitcher coming in, Savannah Mangrum. She had a great fall. We played some tough teams in the fall, and she outdid herself out there, and she played well. I have Hallie Sutton. It's going to be my catcher this year. She's going to have a huge year back there. She had a great fall. And then I have all these sophomores. My sophomore class is huge. I have my second baseman, my first baseman, my left fielder, center fielder, and they're great players. They're a huge group, and I'm going to miss them when they graduate. That's going to be a big heartbreaker for me. And then I have Chloe Gregg that's going to be at third base probably most of the year, and she hit some for us too. And she had a big year last year as an eighth grader. She played a lot, had a bunch of big at bats. She had some big at bats in the playoffs. So we're excited for this group, and we're going to have a fun year with them.
Look, it just seems like you're set to build and propel yourselves into the future of this thing. And as your success, it breeds more and more of those girls around the area will filter into Glenbrook. Tell me about a Glenbrook home game. How is the atmosphere there? I know we've talked about it a little bit, but tell our folks that are watching, if you're a Glenbrook Apache fan, what do you bring into the game?
When these fans get here, they know what they're ready to watch. They get loud. A lot of times there's baseball games going on right above us, and then our fans are there and their fans are there. And a lot of times you'll look up between their at-bats and stuff. Their baseball fans will be up in the stands, turn around looking at us. It's very loud. A lot of times behind our wall back there now, the trucks will be back there, backed up. The boys, if they're not having a game, they'll be in the outfield out there, cheering the girls on, being loud. Always make sure they're not being disrespectful to anybody, but they're always being loud and cheering for the girls. Sometimes I listen to them cheering for me. But it's a fun atmosphere. The fans get loud. There's a lot of food being around. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to have y'all for our tournament.
Hey, you had me at a lot of food around. That's one of the great things. That's one of the cool things is that, and I say this tongue in cheekily, but I don't. We get to sample all of the different experiences that are there. And man, can't wait to be there. We've not been up to that area, but a lot of the fans, when they were in town for that Diamond Youth World Series, came up and saw us in the press box. We were able to visit with them, and it's just such a welcoming fan base, and we can't wait to get down there either.
When I got here, I was kind of nervous about that coming to. I was at a public school for my whole life at Logansport and then Zawali, and then I was worried about the private school atmosphere, but these people here, they've brought me in. They've done everything for me. They've anything they can do, like I said, they'll do it, and they've really had an impact on my career and on my life here, and I love it here.
Look, that's fantastic on it. Coach, as you talk about that tournament that's coming around, tell us some of the teams that are coming up for that and what we can expect out of that when we make our way up.
Well, I've been working on that schedule for you. I have a lot of big schools, like those 5A schools that are on my schedule already. I have Airline coming. I have Parkway coming. Academy Central's coming. Logansport is coming. They're usually in the state tournament. There's a lot of bigger schools and some smaller schools that are compete together. So there's all good games, even if they're smaller teams. They're going to be some good games. And then there's some teams. I have a team call me from Baton Rouge, and they're like, "We want to come up," so they're coming. There's going to be a lot of people here, and we're excited for it. A lot of different atmospheres of schools, and they're all going to be here. So it's going to be exciting.
Man, the energy around that Glenbrook school is off the charts on this too. I love what you guys are doing down there, Coach, and I appreciate you, one, inviting us up to do the tournament, but more importantly, being a part of our preview here and part of that big announcement that we have coming up about our rising stars that will be coming up soon as well. So, Coach, thank you so much for taking the time this morning to be a part of the Pelican Softball Report, and we'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys.
There you go. We've been visiting this morning with Glenbrook Apache Softball coach Tyler Cox. And, man, if you can't tell the excitement and the atmosphere that is going on up there in Minden around that area, and you need to get out there and check one out. It's been my pleasure. Now, stay tuned for our next episodes. Starting this week, actually, we're going to air 2 episodes a night instead of just one because we've had a great response to this. So keep it tuned in to our 446 Sports channel, and you'll be able to catch the Pelican Softball Report weeknights beginning at 7:30. For Coach Tyler Cox, I'm Doug Gann. God bless you all, and good night.